wonderful time. What's going on, everybody? Am I on? Is this thing on? Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy, this is crazy to say, I guess. Happy opening day eve with an asterisk next to it. We have Major League Baseball regular season action at this time tomorrow. We will probably have one game already in the book. That seems ridiculous to even be saying, considering it is March 17th today. But good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Nonetheless, I just got to thank a few people here before we get going. We got to thank Matty Ice. We got to thank our new guy, Tim, Connie, especially for what a marathon. There was a 10-caser of Bowman that we ripped. Anyone know when we started that? I don't know if these fellas are in the chat here who can help me out because I really want to give them their flowers. They came on the stream yesterday at 6 p.m., probably 2 a.m. EB. Yeah, I was long asleep. What's going on, Erwin? But they get here probably around 5:30. Still going at 4. I mean, that doesn't surprise me, EB. That part doesn't surprise me. But I got to give these guys a lot of credit. You want to talk about hard work? Not only it's fun. What's up, Unique? Good to see you, Unique. Good morning to you. But how do I explain this? Opening the cards is objectively awesome. It is objective. Kreger, man, he's wiping the dust out. I think Kreger's going to be hopping on here in just a moment. Good morning, B. Langley. But sleeving and top loading, it's slab or no slab. LOL. EB, what's going on? We're going to get slab or no slab going on. Oh, slob or no slob. You watch it, EB. I'm the only slob here. That's a guarantee. But opening cards is amazing. Having to sleeve and top load them for hours on end afterwards.
I can get tough.
Not as much. I will say that. I just really want to thank these guys for staying here all night, all day. Yeah, look at this guy, Kreger, who wearing many hats today, including a Savannah Bananas hat.
Ooh, baby.
We will get into that later today. That's for damn sure. But yeah, no, I came in here and I couldn't believe I saw this whole cast of characters still grinding. So big shout out to our shipping team. A big shout out to these guys here who are, kind of going above and beyond in the sense of, what you think for typical breaking. It's a marathon shift. So whenever you see those guys next, EB, I still don't know. I kind of just came in here. What's going on, Langley? It could be, you know what it is, Langley? It grows on folks. It grows on folks. A lot of people see the stash at first and they're a little, what's this guy doing? But then you look at guys like Paul Skeens, you see Bubba Chandler, that too, EB, that too. Kreger, what's going on, dude? You came in here, we still had these lads hanging over here. Yeah, rookie police officer or rookie star pitcher for the Pirates, Langley. I don't know what they got in the water over there in Pittsburgh, but they all got it over there. You love it, P. Lang. EB, trust me, I did. It was a full 2 years. Real quick, on the agenda today, March Madness.
Yes.
We got the brackets yesterday.
Yes.
We will be looking at the brackets.
Let's go, my favorite.
Actually, a lot of NFL breaking news this weekend. And we got baseball officially starting tomorrow. I mean, that's
6:10 in the morning, right?
6:10 in the morning. There's really not much more you need than that. I want to talk Savannah Bananas with Kreger.
Okay.
Because they just sold out Raymond James Stadium about 20 minutes from where we're sitting right now.
65,000.
Which is ridiculous. But before we do, man, I kind of just want to get your perspective of what happened this morning. When you walked in today?
Yeah. They were about 4 cases deep on this 10-caser, and they just said, hey, let's go to the breaking room. We all have our own room. And I just started. They said, this is already sleeved. Grab some top loaders. I went through about 3,400 top loaders this morning.
3,400 top loaders?
Just myself, personally.
Okay.
Just myself, personally. We estimate there's about 13,000 out of the 36,000 that are going to get top loaded. Because obviously you got your paper, which we don't ship, and then you got your base chrome cards, we don't sleeve or top load, your vet base, we call it. But all refractors here, Suncoast Sports, we do sleeve and top load. So with that, we're estimating about 13,000 out of the 36,000 going to be sleeved and top loaded.
Holy crap. Well, there you go. Appreciate you for doing that, man.
15 cases are in the store.
I might have to hop on over and join after the show's over, but my goodness, this is the kind of work that goes into it. All hours of the day. Yep. Ledoux, what's going on? Happy Monday, Ledoux. All hours of the night, all hours of the day. If you guys rip it, we will make sure you're getting those cards in tip-top shape, no matter how many man-hours it's going to have to take. Good morning to you, Ledoux. All right. Time to do a 100 caser to rip on April's Fools. Good Lord, yeah. I don't know who's getting pranked on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nonetheless, appreciate you guys for filling this break. Like he said, we do have a 15 caser in the store if you want to keep us ripping all damn day and night. But without further ado, no, not for me, EP. We're gonna get into some sports here, Kreger. We're gonna get into some sports. We do have some cards on the agenda because the Paul Skeens auction is getting more shocking by the day.
Oh, what's it at now? I haven't got a chance to see it.
It has not moved. We will talk about that Paul Skeens auction again. We'll get a couple last second takes. Yeah, I know, EB, it blows my mind. A last second takes here on baseball, but I did want to start it off with the Shield, Kreger. Come on, that's kind of the formula we've been working with today so far on the show is people are waking up. You know, we don't have our peak viewership usually around 9:30. It gets bigger, so we get into some of the bigger, hotter topics as we go. Imagine placing a 550,000 bid, and then he gets hurt tomorrow. Well, Chani, all right, you know what? Let's just start with Paul Skeens then. If that's what everyone's talking about here, because I'm very curious about it. I was texting Kreger last night, kind of going over the things that I want to talk about, and it seems like, you know what? Let's get into Paul Skeens. So here we go. In case you don't believe me, this is what we're looking at right now. $550,000. This was exactly where it was last time we looked at it. This is exactly where it was. It was 504,000 after day one. Yeah. So after 24 hours on the market, it was 504,000. I did a whole thing last week. All right, get on the record. Where is it going to land? I said over 1 million. I said 1.15, I believe is what I said. I'm walking it back. I'm completely walking it back. I think we're going to see a little bit of a flurry before it ends up going off. But what's going on, Maverick? Good morning. I'm walking it back. I don't think it's going to go above 1 million actually now. I'm thinking it's going to go around 750,000. So Maverick, what do you mean by this? You might have some more experience than me in terms of you're still on team greater than 1 million. Well, Maverick, you were always good at you've held me accountable on this show, which I really appreciate when I do a little flip flop. But this one, I feel like some time has gone between the last time I looked at it and
last time we looked was Thursday when I was on the show.
Yeah, last time we looked was Thursday, and it hasn't moved. So the fact that it hasn't moved in 4 days, is it actually people don't just bid during the middle 80% of the days? But how much of a jump do we typically see in that last 12 hours or so? I'm not usually 20%. Oh, I got to do my tipping math right here. 20%. 20% is only $100,000 though.
That would be at least. I'd be willing to say closer to 40 because I do think it gets close to that. The 40% would be what, 760 right around there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's just funny because I saw the Mason Wynn debut, and I think Mason Wynn's a hell of a ball player. The Mason Wynn debut patch right now, I think it's going for around 150 grand.
Okay.
I feel like, and look, we still have some time to go. Dare I use the word disappointing? So far, I don't know. I thought this was going to be some sort of we saw how much the Cheeto sold for. You know what I'm saying? The Cheeto sold for what, $280,000 or something ridiculous like that. So there was the
Charizard or the Charizito and then
Cheetozard,
and then there was the Jumpman Cheeto.
Oh yeah, I got that here too. They're trying to recreate the Cheetozard. I don't know. I'm a little bit surprised. I'm kind of eating a little bit of crow. I am wavering off of team greater than $1 million. I saw a little chatter in the chat, so I figured he would start out with a little Paul Skeens debut check-in. You surprised?
I don't know if I'm going to say surprised because I was in the camp of 750 to 8 is where I thought, and I think this could still.
I think it's accurate. I think that's where it ends.
I will say I'm surprised that it hasn't moved at all in 4 days, even if it was just 10K or 20K. The fact that nobody's touched it, but the fact that no one's touched it in 4 days makes me think how many people are waiting until the last second.
Yeah, and all it takes is 2 guys. You know what I mean? It's not like this is some revolutionary thing where you need 10 legitimate bidders. No. You need 2. Yeah. And then who knows who's holding it now if they want to play a little defense or what. I am wavering though. But you brought it up. I did want to flash this up here. Oh man, I should have pulled the real auction. Now I don't have a check-in on this, but here's your picture. Oh boy. So in case you guys missed it, bang. This is, remember the Cheetozard? They're trying to recreate this thing also. How has this become a thing, man? How on earth has this become an actual, trend where are there people buying Cheetos in bulk and just kind of looking for Charizard 100% better, Rectus saying yawn? What is going on here, y'all? Because it already has 2 bids on it, by the way. Or, at least These are made, right? Not found like this. Elliot, I'm pretty sure they are found like this.
Yeah, out of the bag.
Rhett, I do not disagree. It's almost like people buying 50. That's what I feel like, EB. Are people buying like pallets? Oh, you think it's glued together, EB? Hold on.
I think it's out of the.
I think it's out of the box. I think it's out of the box,
And
Cheeto. No. Are we sure about Cheeto's art? Right, Cheeto's art was glued to like the foam. You know, Cheeto's art was kind of thick. Jumpman, on the other hand, this is pretty normal. I would not use the TH word on this one. I'll give this one credit. The more I look at it, the more I'm starting to think I might be a bidder. like I'm not gonna lie. The more I'm looking at it, the more impressed I am with the actual resemblance here. You know, I gotta give credit to creativity, because you know what? I went into this ready to bash it, Kreger.
Yeah.
And the more I'm zoomed in on it, you see how they have the actual Jumpman superimposed?
Yeah.
They're swaying me.
Yeah, I mean,
I paid $15 for this.
I wouldn't pay 15.
I would pay $15 for this. Now it's probably going to sell for like $1,500, but I'd pay $15 for this. All right, you guys got me all thrown off today. You guys got me all thrown off right from the get-go today. I mean, look, I love it. Give me the more wacky, the better. By the way, this is for scale for those of you who might be living under a rock. This was the Cheetos art here. This was not glued together. No way. It was glued to the. Oh boy, where am I going? Hold on. Oh man, I blew it. My bad. Live TV, baby. It was glued to the back foam. You can see that right here. But it was not actually glued together. Come on now. You gotta hold and relist later. That's what I'm talking. Keep it in the vault. Keep it in the vault, wrecked. But nonetheless, all right. That's our little card talk. I do have a little more card talk if we want to get into it. But football, baby. A little football action. Come on now, the gridiron. We had a lot of news, and some of it came while a lot of you were sleeping. So in case you were not sleeping and top-loading 10 cases worth of Bowman first and Bowman refractors last night, big news, genuinely big news in football. The Cincinnati Bengals, they locked their guys up, Kregerman. We had talked about this a little bit during the offseason, but in case you missed it, in case you've been asleep and just waking up, Jamarr Chase and Tee Higgins are here to stay in Cincinnati for the next 4 years. Both of them locked up for 4 years in Cincinnati. Here are your deals. Jamarr Chase, 4 years, $161 million. I feel like Dr. $161 million. That's ridiculous. Average annual value on that one is 40 and a quarter. That's 40 and a quarter $1 million for Jamarr Chase, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. That's the fifth time I've said that in the last week, by the way. And then second is Tee Higgins. Tee Higgins gets paid 4 years, $115 million. That's an average annual value of $28.75 million. He becomes the highest paid wide receiver, too, in NFL history, allegedly. I saw it on Twitter and just took the guy's word for it. I didn't do the deep dive on what counts as a wide receiver, too, or anything like that. But, all right, I think there's a lot to unpack here. Kreger, you see this morning?
Yeah.
What was your initial reaction to the deal?
Two things. First one, the Bengals might be the first team ever with the 33rd ranked defense. Because I can only assume this means Trey Hendrickson's getting traded.
And what's his face just retired? Was it Sam Hubbard who retired, or was it Trey?
Yeah, it was Sam Hubbard who retired. And then the second thing was, I'm kind of sad that they got these deals done, only because I thought Joe Burrow had the potential to do the funniest thing and be like, not dip, but be like an NBA style diva. Like, we haven't seen any NFL player kind of pull a Kevin Durant, pull a James Harden. Maybe closest thing was Myles Garrett, who very politely said, I want to win a championship. I've given you my all for 9 years. And then he took $200 million. But I thought Burrow had the chance to be like, hey, you're not going to pay my guys. You didn't treat Carson Palmer very well. You didn't treat Boomer very well. Like, clearly you don't care about your franchise. I want out, and I'm simply not showing up to work until I'm traded or these guys are re-signed. I thought that would have been great. I thought Burrow would have been the perfect personality to kind of introduce that to the NFL.
But no, none of that in the NFL, Kreger.
But it's taken care of. He's got his guys. He's got his guys for at least 4 more years. I don't know if it lines up with Burrow's extension as well, but if I had to guess, probably all 3 of them would come off the books at the same time.
That's a good point. I'll have to double check the Burrow thing. Like, I only saw this news as of like, you know, what's going on, Birdie? Good morning.
What
Go
up?
Birds, Birdie. And I see SlabX Breaks hopping in here. Good morning, fellas and ladies. Happy Monday to everyone. Happy baseball opening day eve as well, to those of you who are just waking up with us. But yeah, man, the two deals. Listen, here's the thing. I wake up and I see those contracts and I I should be desensitized by now, right? I still am not. I see those deals and I think, all right, that is $69 million each a year. Nice. Someone had to do it.
Paul George money.
$69 million a year to two players each. And my initial reaction was, holy crap, similar to yours, Kreger. Like, they're going to be the worst defense the NFL's ever seen, probably. They're going to be no protection for Joe Burrow again for another 4 years. And you're probably going to have a ragtag running back. But then I took a step back and I said, well, let's compare this to some other teams here, right? And I think the only comparison in terms of draft-heavy defensive picks, teacher, it's a good point, and you see how it worked for the Lions. See how it worked for, come on, Birdie. See how it worked for our Eagles here. But speaking of the Eagles, I wanted to compare it to the Eagles, right? Because I think you can disagree if you want. Anyone can disagree. Bengals have the best two receivers in the NFL, not close. Jamar Chase and Tee Higgins. The only team that I think would be relatively close would be the Eagles with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and then I think the Buccaneers are a good third as well with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So just to kind of, and I thought of the Vikings and Maverick. It's a good point. I thought of the Vikings as well. I need to see one more year from Jordan Addison.
Okay.
I think they're up in the conversation. They'll probably be fourth for me right now. But at this point in time with them, I'm not sure if it's like, okay, Justin Jefferson is really that good that he makes Jordan Addison look better, which is fine. You can say the same thing about Jamar Chase, I think, and Tee Higgins. But I think you make a good point with the Vikings. I need to see it one more year, but they would be my fourth. Regardless, take them over the Bucs at this point in time. Well, we can talk about that in a second. I would like Kreger's thoughts. The Eagles are paying $57 million a year combined to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. The Buccaneers, who I think per capita, per money, $42.5 million for Godwin and Evans. When I read the Eagles number, $57 million for A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, I think it actually is a really good deal for Jamar Chase and Tee Higgins. Yes, it is $12 million more, which in today's NFL, $12 million, that's a full good player, right? You pay a really good player these days $12 million. I think Saquon Barkley's initial deal with the Eagles was around $12 million, and Junkwax knows it, right? Like, how can you not sign up for that? But when you kind of compare this Eagles, I don't want to say formula to win the Super Bowl, but you saw how they won a Super Bowl. All right, let's $60 million going to wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2. I think for an extra $10 million, getting Jamar Chase and Tee Higgins, I have no problem with it, honestly, even if it means sacrificing the defense.
You know, the way I like to look at it, too, $69 million is the total between those two receivers. The NFL cap this year went up $24 million.
That is a good point.
So obviously it's not fake money. They're going to go buy plenty of things.
And it does go up for every single. It's not like one team got 29 and another,
But if you think about it, I mean, $69 million total. You got 24 extra million you weren't accounting for. Again, it's not fake money, but of what they had, really only 45 of what they originally had is what they spent on this, which if you told me 45 of what you originally had, you're paying Mike Evans and Chris Godwin money for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and you have Joe Burrow as your quarterback instead of Baker Mayfield. Woo. I think you'd sign up for that.
Yep. Now, but I will say, per the price, like, I feel like it's disrespectful to call the Buccaneers the Walmart brand. You get what I'm saying? Because, like, the Buccaneers are what, $26 million cheaper? If you really want to add, you can add Baker Mayfield's contract in there. It's like half the price, and you're getting, it's like the Moneyball version of the Bengals. I feel like if you look at these three teams, your Bucs are like low-key the winner. Yeah. Having said all that, I mean, look, if you're the Bengals, I don't know what else you could do. Yeah. Like, and then I did see, when I was reading some articles this morning, it reminded me, this is the lineup. This is the lineup they trotted out for 5 straight games. Win 5 straight games. It wasn't enough to end the year, but like when these three are healthy, defense be damned. They know how to win. They know how to put up points against anybody. Why not sign up for 4 years? They all got to be healthy for at least one of those years, and if they are, dude, I think I would take that team up against anyone in the entire NFL.
Of course, and to piggyback one more off the Bucs point you're making, you know, Baker took a discount, Godwin took a discount, Evans took a discount. They did that because they needed to re-sign their all-pro right and left tackle, their not all-pro but Pro Bowl type defensive tackle in Vita Vea, and then their first-team all-pro safety in Antoine Winfield too. If they took the approach of Baker getting Burrow, hypothetically, getting Burrow money, Evans getting Chase money, and Godwin getting Higgins money, then probably 2 of those 3 people I named, Vita Vea, Tristan Wirfs, and Antoine Winfield aren't on the Bucs anymore.
Yes.
So it's
most importantly, Tristan Wirfs, I would say,
Yes.
like maybe best, Lane Johnson, Sewell. He's right up there, one of the best offensive linemen in the entire NFL.
Of course.
So yeah, man, I was very excited to see the Bengals. Good TV, and I know a lot of you out there who like holding Burrow rookies, holding Jamar Chase rookies, and all those big cards. I think that's got to be a big win for card holders for two reasons. One, when guys stay in one city for longer, the love, just a natural love from fans, it goes up.
Which
Nothing
drives the
better,
price up.
which drives the price up. And two, it's like a win-win being like, okay, if I'm holding Jamar Chase cards, no one other than Joe Burrow is throwing this guy the ball for his entire prime. And on the flip side, if you're holding Joe Burrow cards, you still get to throw the ball to Jamar Chase and Tee Higgins. The only detractor is like, all right, maybe Joe Burrow's going to get freaking killed without an offensive line. But I do think for card holders and Bengals fans, it's like, hell yeah. We have to, you at least get to watch sexy football for the next 3 or 4 years, which I know a lot of teams would be killing to do. If you're just waking up with us, good morning, a happy Monday. Here's what we got on the docket. I know what time is it right now? Dude, time freaking flies. 9:52, 8 minutes until we get our first trivia question up. When we do that, that's going to be triggering our first slab or no slab giveaway. Take a little look at our list there. In red are our PSA graded slabs. 50 card wheel, 3 PSA graded slabs, going to go to a lucky winner today. And listen, man, I know if anyone wants to take a spot in that 15 caser, come on, baby, let's get our week started right. Heck, I'll spin the wheel. I mean, that's the least I can do for you. I know some of those teams are discounted as well. Really good prices on a absolute mammoth of the break in our store. But if anyone's thinking about taking down a piece of that 15 caser, I'll more than happy to give you a spin of that wheel. But nonetheless, we did have March Madness last night. What I'm going to do in just a little bit, we're going to break down some of the bracket. We're going to do our initial reaction. But I do want to save full bracket shows more for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to be doing a ton of bracket talk all week. Hand up, straight up. Have not done as much research as I wanted to do on it.
Okay.
But we will be talking bracket in just a few moments. I wanted to close out some of this NFL news as well. Bryant over at MSU. That's right, Chani. I saw Bryant win, and I thought of Chani saying fade Bryant early in the year. Man, the Bulldogs are looking mighty fine. The pride of Rhode Island, the Bryant Bulldogs. Easy now on that upset, though. Easy now. We'll get to that in just a moment. Wanted to close out some of this NFL news, however. Other biggest news, Cooper Kupp going to the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes, sir.
3 years, $45 million. Whatever, no problem. That seems like a bit of a normal contract. Kreger, what was your knee-jerk reaction when you saw the news come across? Kupp to the Sea Chickens.
My reaction was I was right. That's all it really was.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, on Thursday I was here saying Seahawks made the most sense. Doesn't move me. This team, it's a bad division. 9 wins might win that division next year between Seattle, between LA, between San Francisco.
I kind of agree.
So, maybe Cooper Kupp allows them the privilege of being a first round out to, a Philly or someone like that. But it doesn't move me. Congratulations. He's home. I hope that he has a great season. I got nothing wrong with that.
That is cool, man. That is cool.
Yeah.
I hope there's no Seahawks fans in here. And if there are, I would like to hear your honest opinion on this. So, all right, growing up, I feel like everyone has a few different friends, a few different types of friends. I would go to my one buddy's house where, the rules at his house were a little stricter, but he had the Rice Krispie treats. He had the big boxes of fruit snacks.
Sure.
He had the goldfish, right? I had another buddy who, we went to that place. You get to play video games. I wasn't allowed to play video games in my house.
Okay.
But at my other buddy's house, we went to Lewis's house. You got to play video games. You got to play Madden. Food. You know what I mean? That's the Seahawks. That's the Seahawks team right there. Because you go over there and it's like, oh, what is this great value fruit chews? You know what I mean? You go to your one buddy's house, he's got the nice fruit snacks, the Welch's. Oh, man, you get the double chocolate Rice Krispie treats. Over there, they go, oh, we got a bowl of cornflakes if you want it for a snack. That's Cooper Kupp. Oh, great value fruit chews. That's Sam Darnold. Meanwhile, you look at the Bengals.
The Bengals where my mind went.
Yeah? Oh, my goodness. Family-sized toasted Cheez-Its.
It's the actual goldfish instead of the cheese whales or whatever.
No cheese whales here. Where it's like, all right, this is the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Here, Josh, This is what we got. This is the same thing. You're kind of looking at it funny, and you're eating it going, I know I shouldn't complain. For the price, it's not that bad. And I'm young, but I know. This isn't the same right here. EB, the UNC football team is the one with the hot tea mom. What the hell are you talking about, EB? Costco, well, no, Costco brand Cheerios. That would be a good thing, B-Lev. Like, I'm talking, it's like going to my house now, right? I invite company over, and they're like, Clancy's. What happened to this? What? Toasted cheese, baked cheese. I wanted Cheez-Its, Josh. I'm the Seahawks. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what I got out of this, where it's like, all right, that's cute. This is passable, right? You're putting in a team out there now because when they first signed Sam Darnold, I was saying, what the hell are they doing? Now I'm like, okay, I get it now. You are putting out a team, all right? This is a passable team, but for those who know, you look at them and you're going to be able to say, no. You might be 9-8.
Yeah.
But the Bengals were 9-8 last year as well. Not 9-8. Two teams that are 9-8 are not the same.
No. In the same league, but we don't ball the same. I
do think you're right, though. I think that division is going to be very fun. It might not be great. There might not be some heavy hitters that come out of that division, but I tell you what, the Rams will be a decent team, I actually think. Yeah. The Seahawks, all right, they swayed me a little bit. They brought in Kupp. They're going to be able to be a respectable team. I'll leave it at that. And then the 49ers, who knows? I actually have no idea what's going to happen with the 49ers. The last piece of news before I switch over to the bracket talk and 2 minutes going on slab or no slab here. Hey-o, Connie.
Deuces.
Thank you for your service. Everyone's got to thank Connie for his service. He's just getting out of here. Holy crap. Talk about that's a 15-hour workday, man.
Yeah, a little
15-hour workday for Connie.
After 15 the day before, too, with him and Jay ripping the 5Ks for Saturday night.
My goodness. Yeah, Tyler, thank you, Connie. For real. I mean, that guy's unreal. Salute to him. Saw a smile on his face walking out of here. The last piece of news, Kreger, maybe, in my opinion, one of the worst franchises these days. Look at Connie coming in to get his flowers. There he is. Thank you for your service, Connie. The Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, I texted you about this, and you're like, did I miss something? It flew under the radar this weekend. Bonehead franchise. They hold on to Kirk Cousins.
Why?
Instead of cutting ties with him, they hold on to him. The hope is that they will still be able to trade him. But from what I'm reading, the quote is, the most likely scenario is Cousins wearing a Falcons uniform in 2025. What's going on, Joseph A. Dirk? Good morning to you. Happy Monday. Kreger, what's your response? Falcons, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean, I love it being a Bucs fan to just have, the Falcons cap situation held hostage. I will say I'm in a Madden franchise, actually, where I'm the Atlanta Falcons in this Madden franchise. And we're at about the same point in this franchise as we are in real life.
Okay.
We're in the free agency period of 2025. So same place, real life to the video game. I was in an awful cap situation, much like the Falcons are in real life. But in the video game, Kirk Cousins retired. And I didn't even try. I just logged into the game. I advanced the week to off-season stage 1, and it says Kirk Cousins retired. And all of a sudden, I have $55 million in cap space. And I'm like, this is amazing. I can re-sign Judon. I can re-sign Jake Matthews. I can re-sign Jesse Bates. Like, it was great. So I bet the Falcons are kind of hoping this guy's like, I've had my fun and retire, and then they don't get any sort of penalty because they're either going to have to take a, $80 million penalty to cut him or maybe 60 or something to trade him or just let him, I don't know, ride the bench because you don't want Penix to be a backup for the next 4 years.
All right, that's probably what's going to happen. My understanding is after the season, the ramifications for cutting him or anything like that become a lot more team-friendly for Atlanta.
Okay.
But for now, for this season, it's still pretty rough. Okay. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't pretend to be an expert on cap. What's going on, Sweeney? I do want to get back to the Kirk thing in just 1 second, but we got to get to our first slab or no slab question of the day. March Madness. It is time for the brackets, and a good portion of the rest of the show will be some gut reactions to the brackets. But for now, let's get into it. Which Division I men's team, got to be very clear with our wording here, has the most NCAA tournament bids of all time? Your choices are all the Blue Bloods, baby. North Carolina, Kentucky, Kansas, or Duke. There we go. Which Division I men's team has the most NCAA tournament bids of all time? We already got a few answers in the chat. I'll tell you what. Let me pull it up here. The winning number is staggering, man. Like, they're just the total number. Like, I can't, like, as a Temple fan, Rick, you're hilarious. As a Temple fan who just heard legends about going to the tournament, it is crazy to me. Oh, my God, we're not going to win this one. Wow.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I know the answer, and it's in last place right now.
Wow. This is crazy. We didn't get it. Rhett knows. It was Kentucky. It was Kentucky, ladies and gentlemen. Wrecked. Well, here's the deal. 10:45. It's 60 at BD. Good shout. 62 now, I believe. 62 with Kentucky. Updated for this year. Good shout, BD. BDE new. Now, listen, these were all the top... those were the top 5. So in this order, it's Kentucky with 62. It's North Carolina with 54. It's Kansas with 52. UCLA with 51. Duke with 47. Duke is fifth. And apologies if I don't know my history, but someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Duke didn't become Duke that we know until much later in the grand scheme of college hoops.
Correct.
Coach K really turned the whole trajectory of their school around and made them... Duke was no one before later. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Now, in our much of our lifetimes, they've been the absolute crazy. Nick, I love you. I appreciate you for hanging around and contributing. Right now, according to Rect, you're persona non grata today with peddling some, what was it, Duke? Nick is the mole. After last week, then it was Leitner, then Grant Hill, then all gravy. I mean, J.J. Redick and now Cooper Flagg. Then it was Zion. Yeah, man, Gerald Henderson. I mean, Duke's been great. I'll talk about that in just 1 second here, but there you go. Closing it off with Atlanta, with the Falcons here before I look at March Madness here. It's not great.
No.
I'm not going to act like it's like this genius move or anything like that, but I don't think it is as bad as it could be, right? Because here's the deal. I'm a big believer in Michael Penix, but... having him as an insurance, I think, is a lot better than cutting ties with him and still having to pay a crap ton of money in cap. Worst case scenario, Michael Penix gets hurt.
Yeah.
Michael Penix doesn't set the world on fire, and you're able to, balance these two guys out just a little bit. Best case scenario is a contender, quarterback gets hurt right away, bring in Kirk Cousins, maybe get something there. But other than that, I mean, it seems a little crazy to me that they're holding on to Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And we also, just real quick, Derek Stingley just signed like 1 minute before we went on.
Oh, really?
3 years, $30 million a year, I want to say.
Where to?
Texans.
Okay,
Texans. Re-signing the Texans, $30 million a year. Dude, they're printing money.
Wait, $30 million a year?
$30 million a year for Derek Stingley. 3-year, $90 million deal for Derek Stingley.
He's great, but I've never heard of a corner making $30 million.
No, me neither, man. So in case you guys are just waking up, I know we're going to work today, missed a lot of this. Getting you caught up on all the news in the NFL coming out this morning, coming out overnight, and then some that came out on Friday and Saturday. We're sure we'll be talking about that much more, but Kreger, man, I tell you what, it's that time of the year.
Let's do it.
That's why they traded their whole line. Yeah, Tyler, that's a good point. That's crazy to me. Like Laramie Tunsil for Derek Stingley. When you think about it like that, they traded Laramie Tunsil to keep Derek Stingley. It is kind of crazy, Tyler. It better work. Better work, I tell you that much. But let's go. March Madness. I'm very curious. Let's go. I'm going to get a little poll up because I know that this is a great fan base we have here in terms of just sports fans. But I'm curious how invested the Talkin Slab folks are. How invested are you in March Madness here? Let's see. Watch every game. I'm getting some options out. Watch big games here and there. What else we got?
I would say one would be first weekend only, just the round of 64 and 32, and there's just crazy, matchups, 4 on at a time, 5 on at a time.
First weekend only or don't care. So that's what I got going on. I'm very curious what kind of fans we got here. Schmuck says I flip a coin to pick my brackets. That's not a bad one. See, I'm going to answer this one right here. I will watch every single game. I will probably watch every single game if I can. For those of you who have followed the show, I am a huge college basketball guy. I have tried to talk less about it because I know not everyone is a degen and a total freak like I am in terms of this. So I'm a little curious here just now that it's time. I'm going to be honest. It's going to take up a lot of these shows from now until the end of the tournament because this is what I want to talk about the most. It's going to be a lot of March Madness. It's going to be a lot of basketball. I just kind of wanted to, recap some of the news we had over the weekend. Teacher, as many as possible, adulting and work gets in the way. Yeah, I've noticed that already, teacher. This is the first year where, conference tournament games are happening, and I'm like, oh, man, I can't watch all the games. You know what I mean? We had a big project going on. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Stay tuned for some big news here at Suncoast Sports. That I was like, I can't watch these conference games. Years before, I'm dialed into pretty much all of them. But nonetheless, yeah, appreciate you guys voting on this one. Very curious. Let's do it, baby. March Madness reaction. The first thing that I saw a lot of people talking about. Did you see this?
Absurd. I did see it. I can think of two teams right off the top of my head that deserve and have a lot better resume than North Carolina. For those that don't know, Bubba Cunningham was the active athletic director for University of North Carolina Tar Heels.
Yep.
Was also not just on the committee, he was the chairman of the committee this year, right?
Yep.
If it's similar to college football, it rotates every year, like the college football playoff selection committee.
I believe you're correct, yes.
So it just so happened this year, University of North Carolina was not deserving of a bid. Their athletic director was the chairman of the committee that decides the 68-team field. And North Carolina just so happened to get in without any quad one victories.
They had one.
One? Okay.
1 in 12.
Quad one,
1 in 12 and quad one wins.
Good.
Quad one games, that is.
Yeah. We have teams like West Virginia that beat Michigan State, a 2 seed.
50% of people said they watch the big games here and there. Interesting. It's not as much of a college hoops viewership as I thought, but continue, Kregerman.
Yeah, we have teams like West Virginia that have a victory over a 2 seed Michigan State, as well as a victory at home against a 4 seed, I believe. I had the notes on this. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but then
maybe Arizona might have been Arizona
State.
No, Arizona State's not in the tournament.
Then it was regular Arizona then. Yeah, so they have a win over Arizona as well as West Virginia.
And then I know another one, Kansas in Kansas. Kansas wasn't a great team this year, but winning in Kansas is always a huge deal.
Of course. And then you have another team like Indiana that didn't even make it, I don't believe.
Yeah. All right, here's what I wanted to say, and I'm not going to disagree with you. This note here is, someone said it, Tyler, it's a little scummy. And to be honest with you, Tyler, I don't understand how they let this happen. This, I think, is a fundamental problem with college sports, having these guys. We said it with college football in the playoff. This is nothing new, by the way, for college basketball. It's always been a little odd that you have people who have obvious self-interest making these decisions. But with all that being said, I do not have a problem with it.
Really?
Now, this I have a problem with. This Bubba Cunningham, North Carolina guy being on the selection committee. But I look at the field, I have zero problem with how it ended up going here. West Virginia, when you look at their resume, yes, there is a case to be made that they should be able to go in. But for me, I watch a lot of these games. I look at eye test, and I look at how these teams go late in the season. West Virginia was trending downward. I think Indiana was a team that was just lost all season. Their coach, I'm not a fan of their coach. And at the end of the day, you gave North Carolina a first 4 game where they could easily just get bounced. You know what I mean? It's not like we're giving North Carolina a cakewalk into this.
Sure.
In North Carolina, look, I get it. You don't get awards for we played close against Duke without Cooper Flagg. They lost by 3 to Duke, in case you guys missed it, without Cooper Flagg in the ACC tournament. Now, Lang, that is the one that I would have liked to see in, actually. I don't see a lot of people talk about that. I would have liked to see George Mason get a chance. I thought there was multiple A-10 teams deserving there. That's a good one, B. Langley. I wasn't thinking about George Mason, actually. But then, see, here's the thing, though, B. Langley, is it gets weird because George Mason, they win 26 games, but if you want to do the whole quad one win thing, not much there. I personally am just a big believer in, I watched them play. They know how to win. I think George Mason deserved to be in. A10, BD knows, A10 is a low-key great conference. I think VCU got a very, very tough draw.
Yeah.
One of my top games here in the tournament. But yeah, I kind of just want to start with the elephant in the room there, which I saw was a big talking point. I have no problem with North Carolina being in. Not much high-level competition, but still 26 wins is very impressive. I'm 100% with you. Let me pull up the bracket here. Let me see. I try to find the best way to to zoom in on a bracket here. All right. So just kind of want to look at the bracket here. As we I see we got a couple hardos in the chat here, B. Langley And who we got here? Who else was it? Connie, talk action to me. Connie, I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to save some of the most action talk for our show. All right? This is kind of just my initial gut reactions. So I had my fantasy baseball draft last night at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So, the bracket comes out. And usually I get into the lab. I walk in. Maverick, we did not get the trivia question correct today, unfortunately. So we were going to be doing a slab spin at 10:45 Eastern time. We needed you here, Maverick. I tell you what. Yes, B. Langley. I think 100% yes. If George Mason beat VCU yesterday, they both would have gotten in. However, seeing VCU get an 11 seed and seeing them getting paired up against BYU, it pains me. Where is that matchup here? I think that's on the right side of the bracket here.
Yep, I see it in the East region.
Bang, there it is. George Mason winning it for the first time. There we go.
Nice.
Go Patriots, top right. That is a crazy matchup to me. I thought VCU would have been seeded a little bit higher. So if George Mason won and VCU didn't get in, there'd be riots. There'd be riots in Virginia, B. Langley. But all right, let's see. My initial thoughts. Everyone and their mother is picking Florida. In case you've missed it, Kreger.
Yeah.
Every single person I've heard talk about the bracket is picking Florida.
And for good reason. Everyone in this show knows I'm a Tennessee Volunteers fan. I was locked into that game yesterday, Tennessee-Florida in the SEC championship game, and the depth on the Florida Gators team. I mean, they got a 7'9" freshman that's not even getting minutes. He's perfectly healthy. He's 7'9" and not getting minutes. They out-rebounded Tennessee by about 20 boards. Tennessee had less turnovers, more assists, and a better shooting percentage yesterday, and they still lost by close to double digits just because of them getting outboarded.
Dude, here's my thing. I picked Florida very early in the season. Not to be like, that's not like that crazy of a pick. Florida was like top 10 for most of the season. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm so cool. You know what I mean? Like, I picked Florida first. But, like, it's always been Duke. It's always been Auburn. Yeah. And they still are very popular picks. I've listened to 2 or 3 shows, and 75% of people have picked Florida. My gut is I'm also picking Florida.
Okay.
But I need to figure out a way to pick someone else. Because it's going to be so lame when you get in these bracket challenges and you see everybody picking Florida. So for those of you out here, it looks like B. Langley, Maverick, I think it was DeHart also. Big college hoops guys I'm getting a read from the chat. Who are you guys going with? Connie, I mean, if you don't want to tip your hand, I know we might put like a bracket out there. And I know people sometimes will be like, no, I don't want you to take my pick, which I respect. But just from the sake of like, water cooler talk, guys hanging around the bar, talking basketball kind of thing, whatever you want to be. Cooper Flagg is playing, Tyler. Yes, that's confirmed. Cooper Flagg will be playing. Because going into this, it was Duke or Auburn. And all of a sudden, people start filling out the brackets. They're saying it's Florida now. All right, B. Langley, Florida versus Duke, with Duke pulling out as much as it pains me. Lang, I mean, like, I hear you. What I am playing Friday, but it's 1 versus 16, so probably relaxing. Yeah, that's true, EB. Right now, ESPN most picked champ is Duke. I do think people who are, like the layman's, like when your aunt is picking her bracket, or your old
Greg from accounting that
Greg,
hasn't watched.
I was just trying to say, Greg from accounting here, or our guy Austin in the back here, is going to be pick Duke. I love when I call Austin because then I see him and he's like, heard you talk about me on the show. I know he's gonna. We're gonna go back and forth about that one later. Langley's an NC State fan. I am sorry to hear that, B. Langley. What a fall back to earth this year. The teacher may be limited in ability if it's that bad. Wait, teacher. Oh, you're talking about Flagg? See, that is my number one question, right? Like, if Duke had Cooper Flagg healthy, I would take. I'm not gonna hate on anyone for taking Duke. I still would not take Duke, even if Cooper Flagg was healthy. It's one of my Josh rules about filling out brackets. I will not pick a team that has their most talented players almost all freshmen. Okay. Because it's Duke and, how do you say that other kid's name? Kneppel, I believe his name is. And now Duke's got a lot of other good players. But Flagg and Kneppel are the 2 best players. I hope I'm saying his name right. I have a very hard time taking teams to win it all that have 2 freshmen or multiple freshmen as their top players.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm trying to think. I see, like, not going to do a full bracketology show. I'm not going to speak in absolutes. There's still a lot more research I need to do. Figure out who is most experienced team, who has the most pace. I like to bring all those nuggets into the show. The teacher says my number 1 rule is don't pick Gonzaga to win a championship.
I don't think you'll have to worry about that this year.
Well, I don't know, Kreger. Now, it's funny because this is a nasty draw. This is an absolute nasty draw. Go ahead.
I think all of the 1v8s are crazy because if you looked at the South Regional, if you go to the South Regional, very top, you have Auburn as the #1 seed there. And then,
you're so right.
You have Louisville, who's the 13th overall seed in the country, drawing an 8 seed against Creighton. And if you go over a little bit more, I don't know if it shows.
Where are you going? Right, left, right?
Go to the left if it lets you go any more to the left. Because I don't know.
No, this isn't the one you're looking at.
Okay, so it doesn't say it, but that quadrant there, Auburn, the first 4, Louisville, Creighton, that's played in Lexington. Could you imagine a Sunday game, 1 seed Auburn, 8 seed Louisville? 13th overall team in the country, the Louisville Cardinals.
Who let that happen?
13th overall team in the country, Louisville Cardinals, drawing an 8 seed, having a home game against Auburn in the round of 32.
Oh, Kreger. That is something to put in your pipe and smoke. And then I got to think about that one.
Go down to the West Regional in your bottom left. I want to point one more thing out in the West Regional. This is where Florida's at. And Florida, a lot of people are picking Florida. Let me tell you who else is there. We have Dan Hurley in the UConn Huskies. We have 2 seed Rick Pitino in St. John's. We have what looks to be, where are we at? 7 seed Kansas and Bill Self.
Dude.
And then we also have John Calipari in the 10 seed Arkansas.
There's so much to get into.
Cal, Patino, and Hurley with the 1 seeded Gators in that, just in that one bracket, the West side.
Tyler call with a hilarious comment. I went to Jimmy John's lunch in Gonzaga when it all back in middle school. Never got that lunch though. Freaky fast, unless we're trying to pay up to a nice middle schooler. BD, that's why I didn't pick Auburn. Jake Kane in the West region. We've got Drake that will actually get a W this year. I am loving Critic. What's going on, Critic? I am loving all these takes. All right. There's more to break down than I thought, because this is just the next 2 days. I want to do more
matchups.
Yeah, matchups. This is my pick for this reason. Give some more betting nuggets in terms of this team has the most experience and stuff like that. But for right now, I'm just kind of this is awesome. There's so much system overload. All right, I'm gonna go to BD's point here. That's why I didn't pick Auburn. Yeah. That is scary. So for those who don't know, I know there's a lot of people who are big sports fans. You like college basketball, but, look, once you reach a certain age, you can't watch everything.
Yeah.
You got work, you got kids, you got card breaks. I get it, Bottom line is, if you're in this chat right now, you will be filling out a bracket this year. You will be watching some of these games. Auburn all season, without a doubt, probably the best team in the country. All of a sudden, last 2 weeks of the season, I think they dropped 3 of their last 4 games. Their star player, Janai Broom, he's a stud, but he tweaked his ankle about halfway through the season. I think he's still pretty good, but it's not nothing. It's not nothing. So Auburn, look, there's going to be a big, sexy pick. This is going to be a tough region. Louisville as an 8 seed, I think, is really a tough seeding for Louisville. I expect them to be a 6 or 7. Great bounce back year for them. And like you just said, Kreger, they're going to be playing a home game against Louisville, assuming Louisville's able to beat Creighton.
Yep.
Having said that, I'm looking at the bracket right now. Gut reaction, I think UC San Diego beats Michigan. If you win 30 games in a regular season, Tyler says A&M is a sleeper in the tourney. I am not convinced they beat Yale. I'm really not. This is a tough one here.
They drew Yale?
They drew Yale.
That's going to be a great game because A&M, I agree A&M's a sleeper.
I think so too, Tyler.
Yale until right now.
But I don't know if they can beat Yale. So it's just the bracket gets so tricky in this way. Michigan hosed with the seed. Agreed. Go blue. I feel like the committee almost went and said that's a cute. Congrats on the Big Ten championship. That's cute.
Yeah.
And kind of seeded them as if they didn't win the Big Ten championship. I agree with you, Jay Breezy. Having said that, I'm still not sold on Michigan, man. I'm still not sold on. I'm sorry, Go Blue. I don't know what it is. Danny Wolf is awesome. Having said that, give me Michigan Yale. Either way. So all right. I'm having a hard time talking because I'm so excited. I'm my brain is moving faster than I can talk. If Auburn is able to win the game versus the 8 versus 9 seed, I think they've got a very easy path to the Final Four. But it's going to be that 8-9 game that makes it very tough to take Auburn.
One other thing, since we're in the South now.
What else we got?
Iowa State, the 3 seed in this.
They're always live.
They're live, but they stumbled a bit down the stretch. That second round matchup against potentially Ole Miss, I could see a 6 seed Ole Miss going to the Sweet 16.
I could too, actually.
And then playing Michigan State more than likely as a 2 seed, and it depends what Tom Izzo we get in March. We could get the Tom Izzo that we all like to remember, or the Tom Izzo that we try to forget. I could see Auburn, Ole Miss.
Johnny saying, whoa. Let's not assume that Michigan State's getting past those Bulldogs. For those who don't know, Chandi, our legendary friend of the show, Chandi, a Bryant Bulldog grad.
Yeah,
that's his alma mater right there.
But imagine an Auburn and Ole Miss Elite Eight. I mean, wouldn't that be something?
Auburn, Ole Miss Elite Eight. That would be fun, man. That would be fun. HK, what's going on? Topher, War Jerky, what's happening? All right, Kreger, we're gonna be talking. Like there's gonna be a show where I think Connie and I will do it. Against the spread pick for every single game, round of 64. Like seriously, that'll probably be the whole show. But for now, let's look at the brackets here. What is your number one upset you're picking, Kreger? And I'm going to ask two questions, okay? Let's start. One is going to be, what is the upset that you are like most confident in happening in the entire bracket? And the second question is, what is the biggest feasible upset? And in the sense that you're not confident it's going to happen, but like the lowest seed or, what's the best word? High seed or lowest seed? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the biggest number.
Biggest.
Like 16 being the highest or
biggest
lowest.
Discrepancy between seeding.
Biggest discrepancy upset and then the most confident upset.
And are we talking about the entire tournament or just round one?
Round one. Most confident first. Give me your most confident upset.
Most confident, I would say, is probably Drake over Mizzou. That's 11-6 matchup. I think
we're gonna have to agree.
Drake plays a really slow pace too, which I don't think Mizzou's going to be ready for. But I'd say that's probably my most confident. If we're talking about the entire tournament, though, I really like UConn to beat the Gators in that round of 32.
What?
If you get a 1v8, UConn has the experience. You've said it yourself. You don't like a team with a lot of freshmen. I know UConn's retooling this year, but they've won it as an 8th seed before. Was it not 2 years ago when they were an 8th seed and they won it? To beat the champs, you got to beat the champs.
All right, what's going on, Can? Man, so it's funny. This is the beauty of March Madness because your big upset for the tournament is UConn beating Florida. I have Oklahoma beating UConn in the first round.
Really?
Yeah, I think UConn just stinks. I just think UConn stinks this year. Nothing much to it. I really do. My most confident. So you said Drake. You said Drake as your most confident upset. I kind of second that. Who knows the story of Drake this year? Are you aware of how awesome the story of Drake is this season?
Little bit.
So Drake, they have been an absolute like juggernaut of mid-major for like 3 years now. Their entire team pretty much went to West Virginia. Their coach, their star player, DeVries, they go to West Virginia. The entire team of Drake is a Division II team. A Division II coach took his whole Division II team, brought him with him to Drake, and what do? They win 30 games.
It's crazy.
It is one of the best stories in college sports right now. And look, you keep a team together, Division II, Division I, you just know how to win. I will be taking Drake over Missouri in pretty much all my brackets. The other upset that I'm extremely confident in, looking at it, I kind of alluded to it earlier. I'm sorry, Jay Breezy, go blue. I think you kind of are feeling it already. I think it's UC San Diego, man.
Yeah.
Michigan. Listen, got to give them credit. They're going to this tournament just as hot as any team. Sometimes it works both ways. You might need to drop one game before going to the tournament. I don't think these guys are tired. If Bryant beats MSU, Josh is shaving his mustache. No, I am not doing that, Johnny. No shot.
I don't think we'll have to worry about that.
Want to know why, Johnny? I think Michigan State can win the finals, but I saw this team lose to Middle Tennessee not too long ago. And Gerwin takes down those Oakland Athletics.
Woo!
Gerwin, you know what? I'm a man of my word. Gerwin, I will give you a spin of the slab or no slab wheel. If you're taking down some of these mammoth spots and our 15-caser, the least I can do for you is give you a spin at the slab. Johnny always got me on that one. Gerwin, are you here? I would love, let's spin this wheel for Gerwin right here. Appreciate you taking down that spot, Gerwin. Let's get a slab now for you as well. Gerwin, who we got winning March Madness as well? Why not? Give me a hot take on March Madness. All right, let me find the slab or no slab wheel. Good luck, Gerwin. Let's go, baby. Let's get it started this morning. Gerwin, appreciate it. Happy Monday to you. 1 through 50. Let's see it. 125 or 50 for Gerwin. Come on. Give it to me, Gerwin. What do we got? Come on. Let's go crazy on a Monday. 49. We were one away, Gerwin.
No way. We
were one away. Gerwin, nonetheless. Yeah, that's not that bad. It's not the best card in the whole world, but we'll take a Tankdale rookie of 150 to start our Monday. And hang on 1 second here, Gerwin. I had someone draft Nick Kurtz in my fantasy draft last night.
Really?
I couldn't believe it. I saw Nick Kurtz go off the board. I took Cam Smith in that one. I was like, all right, we're doing this now? There you go, Gerwin.
Nice.
Appreciate it. Let's get into that 15K so we go crazy. We'll see. I don't know if you noticed it, Gerwin. We hit the Kurtz Superfractor here. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm thinking about it. We hit the Kurtz Superfractor here. We hit Kurtz to 5. I believe we hit Kurtz to 10, like all in the last week. So good spot. Appreciate you hopping on in. And all right, so Gerwin was a little gun shy on the March Madness prediction to start. No, all good. All good. 49. What kind of number? 49. What are you talking about, Elliot? Oh my goodness. All right, let me get back to the old bracket here. All right, so let's do the other fun one. I know. I'm curious what clearly we have a couple sharps in the chat. I'm very curious what we think the biggest feasible upset could be. And I'm not saying you need to pick this in your bracket. I'm not saying you need to put your hard-earned money on it. But when you saw these brackets, like Chani's saying Bryant over Michigan State here. Is there a 15 over a 2? Is there a 14 over a 3 that might be calling your name at all, Kreger? Or are you going to go 13 over 4? Anything like that?
I'm taking a look. Maybe the Yale A&M matchup would be a good one if you want to go 13 and 4.
I do think so, yeah. Hit me!
One of the 5-12s, I believe, was it UC San Diego that was a 3.5-point favorite over Michigan?
Get that out of here. I hadn't looked at lines yet.
One of the 12, I remember listening to a podcast this morning. One of the 12 seeds are favored, and I'm looking. It's Colorado State over Memphis. I'm pretty sure it's Colorado State's favorite.
I think you're right, too.
Memphis, yep.
Oh, fantastic morning, Himmy. Appreciate you checking in. All right, Elliot, that sounds awesome, by the way. My bad for not getting the bit. 49? I can actually see it now. Continue, Kreger. I'm sorry.
You're good. No, I think that was it, though. I believe it was Colorado State being 3.5-point favorites as a 12 seed over the 5 seed Memphis Tigers.
That's pretty crazy.
Wow.
Memphis injuries are going to hurt. I'll tell you what. I'm going to be picking that one as well. Colorado State, one of the hottest teams. They were one of those. They were not a tournament team, and then all of a sudden, bam! They just got so hot. Final stretch of the season, ran the table in the Mountain West. I will be picking Colorado State also. I think the American also sucks.
What would your knee-jerk Final Four be?
I'll tell you that in 1 second. I do want to give my biggest feasible upset here.
Oh, yeah.
Mavericks at High Point. I love that one. High Point. Let me see. Who are they playing again? Purdue. Yeah, I do like High Point. High Point is a 13 seed. I hate that I kind of like all the 13 seeds. I'm not going to lie. Akron, they were just dominating the MAC all year.
Maryland.
Grand Canyon, Yale. Like all the 13 seeds are live. I do think all the 4 seeds are really strong as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard for me to pick all the 13 seeds. I think we see a 14 seed win this year. I'll say this. I'm having a hard time picking them, though. Let me see. What was the 14 seed up here?
We had Iowa State, Lipscomb.
No, I don't think it's that one.
Texas Tech, UNCW.
Here, I got to scroll to the right here. VCU over BYU, San Diego over Mississippi. I don't hate those at all. I don't see Montana over Wisconsin. There was one I thought. Now, I'm not going to bet it. But I do think it's possible Troy can beat Kentucky.
Oh, my God.
I'll say that.
The Vol fan in me would love that.
I do think it's possible Troy can beat Kentucky. EB, I'm not going to bet it. I'm not telling you to pick it. And I do think it's a different era with Mark Pope running the show. I know, EB, Troy is a really strong team. They can give team fits. And you see Kentucky, they have stinkers of games. Mm-hmm. And the one more I will say is possible. Now, don't say, look, I'm saying it's possible. It is possible that Nebraska-Omaha could beat St. John's. Oh. I'm not picking it. But Nebraska-Omaha beating the trash cans. We played the clip for you of them beating the trash cans. St. John's, they have these games where they forget how to score. Yeah. All right? You never know when that game's coming. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Coach Rick Pitino is one of the GOATs. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, we're talking most feasible. Okay. Not probable, feasible. All right, Kreger asks, knee-jerk reaction. Mavericks. Storm Chasers, I believe are their name, Mavericks. I don't know if you're talking about Dallas. Knee-jerk reaction, Final Four. All right, don't quote me on this. Knee-jerk reaction, I'm going to go up top here. I say Michigan State.
Okay.
Sorry, Chandi. I say Florida here in the West. Let me see here. Midwest, Omaha Mavericks. I thought they were the Storm Chasers Maverick. I'll double-check that. Or the Storm Chasers the Dodgers affiliate? All right, Midwest here. This one's tricky, man. I say Tennessee.
Really?
I say your Vols. Yeah,
okay.
I think I say Tennessee here. And then up top right, I don't think Duke gets it.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think Bama gets it. I don't think Wisco. Give me Arizona. Give me the 4-seed Arizona here in the East. This is not my final. This is my knee-jerk kind of just looking at it without going. What about you, Kregerman?
Knee-jerk for that South Regional, which is going to be your top left. Same thing. I'm looking at Michigan State there. For your West Regional, which is your bottom left, I would say St. John's. I think they've been playing well enough that they can get back to the Final Four. Top right in the East, I'm going to go with Duke. I think that they're just going to go breezing through that tournament. I will say the Sweet 16 matchup against Arizona be an interesting one if they get there. I think by that, the following weekend, the Sweet 16 is when Cooper Flagg would be fully healthy again. And then in the Midwest, I'm probably going to go with either Houston or Purdue. I think the winner of the Houston-Purdue matchup in that Sweet 16 is going to come out of the Midwest.
Dude, this is the thing about March Madness that's so crazy is you have people and myself agreeing. We're saying like, hey, High Point could beat Purdue. And then it's also like, dude, Purdue could easily go to the Final Four. Oh, it's that time of the year again. We could, look, I could talk March Madness and we will talk March Madness all week. But I do want to jump around, do a little baseball here. If we have some extra time later, I mean, we can talk March Madness all damn day. But I do want to do a little more research, and we got time. We do have time. It's like half of me is like, all right, start it now, please. The other part of me is like, okay, you know what? We still have 3 full days. Watch some first 4 games, get ourselves ready to roll, and then we can get our final takes out there. But appreciate you guys talk a little March Madness with me. I know it's not everyone's forte all the time, but it's that time of the year, baby. It's
6 p.m. tomorrow, 6:10. We got San Diego State and UNC to start.
Wait, Maverick, do they play in Omaha? My brain is just like, between fantasy baseball, March Madness, and Bowman Draft, it's like, it all starts to blend together at some point. All right, there we go. So I've been calling them the Omaha Storm Chasers all year, unknowing that was also like the Kansas City Road, where we'll be seeing Jack Caglione potentially in a couple weeks. There you go. Thanks, Maverick, for keeping me in check. All right, so 30 teams, 30 shows. We've, like I said, can you believe it? Let me pinch myself here. Baseball begins tomorrow, 6 a.m.
Today, if you're in Tokyo.
That's right. Today, if you're in Tokyo. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to talk about the Atlanta Braves. That's the team I'm spotlighting today. It was going to be the New York Mets. And I said, you know what, Josh? This is your show. We're talking the Mets when Tonka's on the desk.
There we go.
When I get Ross, no disrespect, Kreger, but I want to talk about the Mets with the Mets fan. You know what I mean? So when Tonka's on the desk, I want to talk about the Mets with them. So today, we're looking at the Atlanta Braves, which I think is one of the more interesting teams in the entire MLB in terms of expectations and in terms of ceiling based on where they were last season. Star player. You know how we start all these? Star player, it's absolutely Ronald Acuna. ZK, what's going on, ZK?
What up, ZK?
Good morning to you, sir. All right, star player Ronald Acuna, there's no doubt about that. He's going to be hurt for about the first month or so. That's fine. You know what I mean? They were able to hold it down pretty well without him last year. You can start without him for the first month. Same deal, though, with their star pitcher, Spencer Strider. No doubt about that. Reports are, though, he's making his first spring training start today.
Strider?
Yeah, Strider should be on the bump today.
Okay.
For baseball fans, though, we know what that means. He probably won't be with the Braves opening day. Might be early to mid-April before we see that guy playing MLB baseball for the Braves, Spencer Strider. The manager for the Braves, hate to admit it, one of the better ones in the MLB, in my opinion, Brian Snitker. Video that defined their season. Look, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. This is just a little kind of roast to Braves fans. Braves, you deserved a little better than this, but I was watching this video today, and I just cracked me up. I forgot about this one. I'll let it run here. Look at this throw. I forgot about that video from last year. Anytime you see a throw like that.
Wow.
I mean, like, how do you even do this? That's why it's called spring training. This was a regular season game last year, EB.
If you see the records, I saw like 98 and 46. This was like August or September of last year.
This was in the dog days. I kind of feel like this summed up the Braves season where the relay was looking good and then just whoop. You know, like it just, the Braves low-key outfielder could have caught it. Well, Tyler, I mean, that was the whole point is like, you were so close all year, yet so far.
2 outs, too. That's crazy.
So, yeah, outfielder should have caught it. First inning with a guy who I don't even know win-ins on the mound. This was a team in the Braves who had World Series expectations, and it just felt like nothing went right for them all year. You know, as a Phillies fan, I'm not going to say I felt bad for them, but, you know, I almost do. ZK, that's how it looks like when I throw with my left hand. ZK, come on, that's how it looks like when you throw it full force with your right hand. Hey, yo. Nah, I'm kidding, ZK. But nonetheless, man, like, Braves last season, it's just crazy when you think like how great I'm gonna head out. How great Ozuna played. You know, you still have Matt Olson, you still have Austin Riley. That's right. You family show here, eBay. Good morning. And it just, you're so close. You thought maybe they would go on a magic run. EB, we doing the spin or what? 10:45, EB. Come on now. But it just, they never pulled it together. Sleeper players for the Braves. One, Drake Baldwin. No doubt about that one in my mind. I mean, for these circles, for the Fanatics live, baseball fan chat, I don't know how much of a sleeper Drake Baldwin is, but for your layman, your not normal baseball fan, they don't even know who Drake Baldwin is. I expect Drake Baldwin to be, the opening day catcher for the Atlanta Braves. How does it choose who gets it? New here. Tyler, we run a giveaway for 15 minutes first. It's just like any other giveaway, Tyler. We run a giveaway for 15 minutes. Whenever that giveaway ends, it picks a name. And then from there, we go 1 through 50 on the wheel from there. Yeah, there you go. It's a whole process here. We've ironed it out. But looking at the Braves here, do you view them as the top team in the NL East? Because Vegas does. They're the odds-on favorite to win the NL East at plus 135. Do you view them as the top dog of the NL East?
Yeah, I think they should be. I agree with Vegas. I think they should be, especially with the Mets kind of still, I don't want to say figuring it out, but they're going to have some growing pains like any team does when you add somebody that has that much influence, that much, potential that can really change the lineup. And then I don't see the Phillies being any better or any worse than they were last year, kind of right the same. So I think it's the Braves to lose. But I think at the same time, the likelihood of them losing it is higher just because you have Acuna out for that month and we saw what happened last season. But I do think it should be the Braves to lose.
Okay. It's interesting wording, though, because I do view the Braves as the top team, but I also, in the same breath, don't think it's the Braves' division to lose, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Maybe it's the specific wording I'm getting hung up on, but, when I first looked at the odds, I was like, whoa, Braves, they had a stinker of a season last year. Why are the odds on favorite? And now when I do the deep dive and I'm looking at it, and I go, Acuna's only missing a month, which we know in the scheme of a baseball season is not that big. Spencer Strider's only missing a month. Now, on top of that, you saw what you got from Spencer Schwellenbach last season. Legitimate, not MLB ace, but a legitimate top-end MLB starter. Reynaldo Lopez looked pretty good last season. If Marcell Ozuna can play, I don't know, half as well as he did last year, now with Acuna in the lineup, Matt Olson can regress back to the mean. This Braves team is a lot better. And then Sean Murphy last season, he's going to start the season injured. Absolute stinker. If when he gets healthy, he can play semi-decent. I hate to admit it, I think this Braves team is deservedly the best team in the East. ZK, I hope the Phillies are on a mission this year. I've heard that for 2 years now. You know what I mean? And they finally won the NL East last season and then did nothing in the playoffs. So, I don't know. I don't really know how much the Phillies are going to be locked in or how seriously the Phillies are going to be taking the NL East. Now that they've seen their 2 successful playoff runs, they were a wild card team. How important really is the NL East for the Phillies? So I don't know, man. Plus 135 are the odds of the Braves if you think they're going to win the NL East. I'm not going to be putting my money on it, but I do agree that they deserve to be favorites. Now, is there any way that Marcell Ozuna keeps it up? I got to pull up his stats here just to remind myself. Because I'm looking at his numbers. I forgot what kind of season he had last year. First things first, he did play 162 games. Now, when you're DHing, not as impressive. Here were his numbers. He hit .302 average, 39 home runs, 104 RBIs, and a .924 OPS. Is there any way Marcell Ozuna is able to keep up this production, Kreger? Or do you think we finally see a dip from the man we call Ozuna from the Braves?
Ozuna from the Braves. I don't see why not. He hasn't shown any sign of slowing down.
Yeah.
So I think we can still get a couple more good years out of him. I think this season will be perfectly fine. I don't know if the numbers will be the exact same because those are all-star level numbers, but I don't think he's going to be a negative by any means.
I do too. I hate admitting it. At what point do you just have to say, this is who he is?
Yeah,
He's done it now for 2 or 3 straight years. It's ridiculous. Here's the other question, though. You have to pick one. Matt Olson or Marcell Ozuna? Who would you go with?
You're picking Matt Olson, aren't you?
I might pick Marcell Ozuna.
Really?
And part of it is just for the bat. Obviously, you'd rather have a guy who plays a position. Yeah. It's a lot easier. Uncle, PH, that's a paywall. That's so you don't buy a spot, Uncle. We specifically don't want you to buy a spot It's a placeholder, so we can use that as a random. I'll go ahead and feature the break we have in our store. It's a monster. It's a, here we go. It's a 15 caser of super jumbo, absolute monster. And if you do if you do buy a spot in this break, I'll give you a spin of our slab or no slab wheel and a chance to wheel. But yeah, sorry for the confusion there. That's just a placeholder, so you don't buy a spot. This is the break we have in our store. I got that featured right now for you. But anyways, yeah, Marcelo Zuna or Matt Olson. I might actually go with Marcelo Zuna.
Really? That's
I'm just a little bit nervous after Olson's kind of like down here a little bit last year. I'm not so sure.
Okay.
All right, what else I got here? So the Braves, their pitching staff, is it an issue? Because starting the season without Spencer Strider, you look up and down that rotation, leaves me scratching my head a little bit. Your ace, I believe, is going to be Schwellenbach. Can you buy a spin for? No spin for that price, EB. It's just a spot. You buy whatever number you get. How about that? What else we got here? Let me pull up that rotation here. I'm trying to remember off top of my head. I want to say it's Schwellenbach, Ronaldo Lopez, Ian Anderson's on there. All right, here it is. Chris Sale, Ronaldo Lopez, Schwellenbach, Grant Holmes, and Ian Anderson. Maverick. And I can't even... No, Maverick, we run a hard bargain here. If I pay that amount, I better get a slab by default. You get one slab for that amount, B-Lev. Just one. All right? We got to keep these slabs on the wheel.
Yes.
How is Chris Sale still pitching? EB, he won a Cy Young last year. What are you talking about? Just your knee-jerk reaction. What's the ballpark here? Give me a ballpark on the Braves rotation here, where it like kind of ranks.
Looking at this, this is.
And if you want, you can put Strider in it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna add Strider's gone a month, so that's gonna be what, 4 starts he's missing.
That's a good point. Let's imagine Strider's in there. Where do you rank this this rotation?
It would be between that like 8 to 10 range, 7 to 10 range.
I think it's still top part of the league. Maybe top 4 in the NL, but it's not up there with some other ones. Like I know the Dodgers, the Phillies, even Mariners. Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of teams that I would put ahead of them, but I'd still say just off the top, without going and breaking down the weeds of like the 4th and the 5th pitcher of every single team, I'd say somewhere between like 7 to 10.
Twins will be decent this year, Tyler. I'll tell you right away. Talk about good rotation. The Twins have a much better rotation than the Braves. Kind of like knee-jerk ballpark. Top 12-ish for the Braves. Not much higher, not much lower. I think what really hurts them is if you have to pitch guys like Ian Anderson or Grant Holmes. I mean, we remember Ian Anderson's Linsanity run his first year in the playoffs. Since then, he has not been the same guy. All right, how about this question about Ronald Acuna? When Ronald Acuna is healthy, he's the number what player in the MLB? I drafted him last night in fantasy, 3rd round. I thought to myself, if I miss a month, this guy misses a month, and I can get him in the 3rd round, I still think this guy is a top blank ball player in the MLB.
Again, off the top, trying to think like healthy 5.
I said top 5, and he's not 5.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't like Mavericks is 5 to 10. If you're playing head-to-head, no brainer. I'm playing Roto, B-Love. I am playing Roto. 15-team Roto, baby. This is the real deal here.
15 team? You got him in the 3rd round?
Yeah, got him in the 3rd round. Look, it's an ACL injury. I think that's scary. I know a huge part of his game is his athleticism, is his B-Love. No joke, man. No joke. I went Mookie, Merrill, Acuna the first 3 rounds over there in 15-team Roto. But anyways, I think Acuna's top 5. Ohtani, Witt, Judge. That's my top 3. And then I think I would go Acuna at 4 when he's healthy.
I didn't even think about Witt.
I think Witt's ahead of Acuna.
Yeah, I might have to put Acuna down to 6 then.
Who's your top 5? A trash can? Wait. Oh, who's your SP5? I think my SP5 is Tanner Houck or something like that. Tanner Houck or Bowden Francis, B-Lev. I got my guys, man. I got my guys I like. I've never had anyone care about, B-Lev, I can't believe I can show my fantasy baseball team. I thought about doing that as a segment, but I thought, no one cares about my fantasy baseball team. I appreciate the interest. That's all I'm thinking about this morning, honestly. I can talk fantasy baseball all day. I'm pretty pumped about it. But Acuna, top 5? What do you think? You don't think top 5 anymore?
Yeah, maybe right at 5, because I would probably say, similar to you, First thing that I thought was Ohtani, Judge, obviously.
Ohtani, Judge, Witt.
Forgetting Witt,
three.
I'm going to put Witt at 3 now. I was thinking even Mookie, too. I know he's a little bit older nowadays, but I'd still put Mookie. I think a healthy Mookie who's at his best, probably around that 4 to 5 range. And then you got if we're talking just position players, too, Cooney would be next person that comes to mind. Soda would be a person that comes to mind as well. So I'd say between 4 to 6, depending on what your flavor is a good spot for him.
B-Lev, it's actually it's like a 6x6. I was a big lobbyer for having OPS as a category this year. I thought in the modern day, I think OPS should be taken into account. So then as in turn, we also added quality starts to pitching, which is actually, it might sound crazy.
I used to have that when I played fantasy baseball. Yeah.
Dude, I'm not a big fan of holds. I'm assuming you play with holds. All right, let's get this giveaway up. Slab or no slab wheel spin. We do wins and quality starts. You would be shocked the difference between wins and quality starts. Like the amount of the guy last year had 30 more quality starts than wins somehow. I don't even know how that's possible.
A bad bullpen.
Slab, yeah, that's true. Slab or no slab wheel spin. There we go. And that's why you got to add quality starts. There's an art to this. All right, slab or no slab wheel spin. I'll have the fantasy team up tomorrow. If we want. But Maverick, it makes watching games so fun. Yeah. When your guy is in there in the 6th inning and he allows someone on base and they pull him up to, yes, Maverick knows. And you pull him out and you're like, no. Like, and you're watching it and it's like, it's called a Philly. I don't know what that is, B-Lev. It sounds pretty cool though. But there you go. There's too much to get to, Kreger. Yeah. I'm freaking out today. Like, I think never mind. I shouldn't say that. I'll tell you off there. It was not politically correct what I was about to say, so I'm going to put a pin in it, and we're going to move on here.
Let's move on.
More baseball leftovers to get to here as we got slab or no slab up. I think Acuna is a top 5 player in the MLB when he's healthy still. We have the Japanese Tokyo Series starting tomorrow, but before we look forward, we have to look back. Because over the weekend, the Hanshin Tigers. What do you know about the Hanshin Tigers, Kreger?
I know that they won a couple of games 3-0.
Damn right they did.
Were these split squad games? Or
I don't think so.
Oh, so the Dodgers had their full roster?
I think both teams, someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I think both teams played their full roster this weekend against the Hanshin Tigers. Both the Cubs, both the Dodgers lost 3-0.
That is crazy. Against
the Hanshin Tigers. Here we go. What's this video I have here ready for us here? Oh man. Yeah, this was Tarukai Saito. I don't know his name. Going yaya against Blake Snell. Look at this one.
Dang it.
Oh, my bad. I accidentally unscreen shared. Hold on. Here we go. Getting this back up for you. Saito against Blake Snell.
I mean, the way he turned on that.
Man. No outs, bottom of the 4th. I love the fast zoom in. I don't know what they're teaching them in Tokyo school that they aren't teaching American cameraman or woman. Look at this guy. Get used to seeing this guy, Dodgers fans. So we're saying future Dodger right here. I mean, that was all it took. 3-0 win. And then another quick clip. I don't know if you saw this one going viral. For some reason, the Tokyo fans, they love Pete Crow Armstrong. They were chanting PCA, PCA over here. Yeah, me too. What's up? Let's go Dodgers. They're just chanting PCA. All right, so Erwin, you actually have experience with the Hanshin Tigers. 4 or 5 in the morning, betting on them. By the way, so, we know how the deal goes. The Japanese fan base is like second to none. Mm-hmm. Might be time to invest in some PCA cards. If the Japanese fans are loving PCA, they know ball. Maybe they know something that we don't. Maybe we should be grabbing some more PCA cards. I mean, I think he's a hell of a player, but man, I give a lot of credit to Japanese fans. Also, another crazy one I saw. Could be seeing this guy. This kid, 20 years old. 20 years old. Now, this is just one pitch he threw. Threw 5 perfect innings. And look at this, eephus he's throwing.
Yeah, that is nice.
So he threw a curveball that was 20 miles per hour slower than his fastball. His name is Kaito Mombetsu. Threw 5 perfect innings against the Chicago Cubs. I mean, come on. This is awesome. Now, it kind of got me wondering, Kreger. Do we have to look ourselves in the mirror as a country and start to question.
I think we have to do that regardless. I think we need to do that regardless.
Whoa. No, not today.
All right.
This is an escape.
I'll behave.
This show is an escape from that.
I'll behave.
Do we have to look ourselves in a country as baseball fans?
Yeah.
And start to question, do we have the best talent? Because you will look at the World Baseball Classic. We didn't win it. We did not win that World Baseball Classic. Japan did. Who's the best player in America? A Japanese ball player. All of a sudden, you go over. The Dodgers, the best team in the MLB. Listen, I'm not saying the whole entire league. I forget what the Japanese ball club league is called. 3-0 both games, you know. MLB is mostly Hispanic now. I mean, look, that's the beauty of America, though, EB. MLB is a melting pot. Like, the MLB is literally a melting pot. You got a ton of Japanese ball players now. You got a ton of Dominican ball players, Spanish ball players, American ball players, Canadian even. But, I mean, this Japanese league, 3-0, 2 games in a row, and I get it. For them, this is like their Super Bowl, I think. You know, you're playing in front of your home Japanese fans. Last in the NBA draft. Oh, I have no idea, EB. You let me know, because I'm not going to get that one.
No, EB, don't say it until at least the end of the show because I want to try and think of this
thinking about that. That's a good question.
I'm trying to think of this one.
But anyways, yeah, what do you think? Do you think it's possible that we're not the kings of baseball anymore?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if, I don't want to say, I don't know if ever, and it's Andrea Bargnani if it wasn't recent. Okay. I don't know if I want to say ever, but it's like, it's not a, I don't know if it was ever decided that it was baseball, at least in the last 25 years, that baseball, granted, baseball's America's pastime, but to have the American baseball teams had a chokehold on baseball across the world the same way that USA basketball's had a chokehold on basketball the last 25 years?
Point.
I don't think so.
And Edie makes a good point. Korean baseball fans are in. I mean, that's on my bucket list to go see a game in Japan now. I've just seen their fans. Like, they have a culture of their own without a doubt, and you can make the case. In a lot of ways, it's better than the culture we have over baseball. I'm sure they don't have to worry about MLB TV blackouts like we do, Kreger. It's ridiculous. But
EB, was it Andrea Bargnani in 06?
Here we go. Just proves baseball is the greatest sport in the world. I love that, DM. I'm not going to complain about that. Saying sorry. American born. Okay. Wow. I have no idea. Korean bunt derby is great. We need Chandler Simpson in the bunt derby. I went to an Oryx Buffalo game 20 years ago. Super fun. I had no idea how hard it is to fly to Japan, by the way, because I looked into this. You can't fly to Japan in under 30 hours. You need to take a layover and oh my God, it sounds horrible. Am I incorrect? Bill Walton said it. 1974. Rest in peace, Bill Walton. That's insane. From where? From here, at least, EB. 30 hours from Tampa to get to Japan. Like, any way you slice it. 1973, Doug Collins? What kind of Collins is that? I don't even know. I mean, if you show me an easier way to get to Japan, I'm absolutely there. I'm absolutely there. Come on now. What else we got here? So it starts tomorrow. Tampa, NYC, Tokyo, likely. You can get there in under 15. From the East Coast, EB? Probably not from the East Coast. Maybe from the West Coast you can get there on under 15, but not from the East Coast, EB. No, I think it goes Tampa, California. I don't know what kind of Collins is that. I could go to Seoul via Japan and detour to Boston. All right, EB. My brain's going to explode. New York City, Boston, Washington, definitely. Wait, why are you going New York City, Boston? We're trying to figure out how to get to Tokyo in under 30 hours or in under 24 hours from America.
Oh, it'd probably be San Francisco and then Tokyo.
Right. So I'm saying from Tampa, from Tampa, you can't do it from Tampa, Andrew. I'm SOL, as they would say. But nonetheless, I'm getting too off on a tangent. We got some breaking news. Got some breaking news here from us. Got a little promo we're about to run coming up. I won't announce it. I'll let our other guys, stay tuned. I'll let our other guys announce this. But we're going to have a little promo here for some of our Bowman breaks in terms of bounties on some parallels here. Just a little teaser. Okay. Just a little teaser. So stick around when we switch it over to breaking at 11 a.m. Some of our guys can tell you about this. When we're breaking a little promo we're running here. Kreger, dude, we have baseball tomorrow. This must be heaven for you. You're waking up at your show goes from 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. You get to watch baseball now.
I just got to figure out what channel it's on.
That's a good point. I think it's on ESPN. Okay. I think it's an ESPN game. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. You hear that, Alec? Auction tomorrow morning, gonna go crazy for real. Everyone's gonna be up. I'm setting my alarm for 6 tomorrow. We're gonna be watching baseball all morning to start your day.
Now this is assuming, ZK, that we don't fill that 15 caser. Which, by the way, with the new promo that we're gonna be running at 11 a.m. for that, I assume the 15 caser. Good chance we're gonna get that filled, and then we got another long night ahead of us of ripping and sleeping in top load. And regardless, still be watching baseball. But don't worry, ZK. You know I got you at those auctions.
All right. Now, Kreger, I apologize. There was hardly Chippy in Pittsburgh and saying, get there 16 hours with one stop? Chippy, lay it out for me. What is it? I always talk about this, Kreger, where I have all this whole show, and then easily there's always a topic that gets the most reaction out of the chat that I'm not expecting at all. And it's getting the Tokyo thing from Tampa has been the #1 topic of the day. ZK, I don't know what to do with myself this morning, not getting in a morning break. Under $1,000, dude, I would love to do it. I want to go to Tokyo now. That's the new country I want to go to is Japan / Tokyo. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to hear how you get there from Pittsburgh. Because if that's the case, I'm there. Please give it to me. Let's see what else we got. Swim. All right, ZK. Thanks, man.
Do you have the Scalabrini video by chance? I see it on here.
Dude, did you see this?
Yes.
Let me see if I can pull it up. Now we're just going to get to odds and ends. Let me find it. I'll find it live. We'll do it live. Who saw this here? This is right up Kreger's alley.
I believe it was recently over the weekend, but it was Brian Scalabrini at Rucker Park, and he was playing against, I'm assuming, like a guy that's a regular at Rucker Park, not just some Joe
He owns it.
Okay.
Not literally owns it, but he... Oh, yeah, here it is. Who saw this over the weekend?
I mean, the Scal's going perfectly up and down, playing great defense. You see when Scal has possession, too. This guy's doing nothing but grabbing him. Look, a nice block there. Putting chest to shoulder, too.
So for those who don't know, this guy, George the Messiah.
Foul.
He owns Rucker Park. He's a legendary. He challenges everyone. So then, of course,
Foul.
The White Mamba. Yes, EB. There's a whole movement that people think they could beat Scal. Mm-hmm. Scal calls him out, actually takes him up on it, and takes their lunch from him. It is fantastic. Scal blows George Messiah out of here. Man, this is giving MTV vibes right here. Yeah. I mean, this is just awesome. In case you guys missed it over the weekend, Kreger, I love it when Kreger's like, yeah, I saw this on the rundown, and we have to play this. Like,
my absolute favorites at the end. Scal's talking right here. I don't know if volume plays.
I think you got volume on.
But regardless, he says, I'm closer to LeBron James than you are to me. And I thought that is hilarious.
Let's go, Scal. The White Mamba. Love to see it here. All right, how much time we got left on this giveaway here? A little over 3 minutes left on our givey here. Kreger, and we unfortunately did not have time for the Great Savannah Bananas debate.
Yeah.
But we will do this eventually. Mm-hmm. Chippy says, stop in Chicago from Pittsburgh. There we go. Thank you, Chippy. I was dying to know. You kind of just found out about the Savannah Bananas this weekend.
Well, I wouldn't say I just found out how popular they were. Because I knew the Savannah Bananas. I have a couple of people I know that are on the team and within the organization. But didn't think they were capable of selling out 65,000 seats at Raymond James Stadium, a stadium that hosts multiple Super Bowls and multiple college football championships. But my girlfriend Sam got to go. She went on a little work trip and brought me back this hat. So she's all in. And if she's all in, I'm all in. So next time they're in town, I'm going to be going. But it seemed like a lot of fun. It's like a Harlem Globetrotters type of thing. I don't think it hurts anything. Let's have fun. Let's have fun. Did Ice Cube creating the Big Three hurt the NBA? No. I got to see Antonio McDyess at age 45 hooping. Like, that was awesome. Are you kidding me? Where else am I going to see Birdman at age 46? Just taking threes in the half court.
The whole Savannah Bananas thing that I don't like is the fact that they sell out for a lot of money, like Raymond James Stadium.
The Rays can't get 5,000 people at the Trop. They put 65,000 people at Rays.
That's my point. Like, that's just so ass backwards to me, is that you have this clown show, and don't get me wrong, nothing against the guys who play for the team. It's a good way to, have a career outside of baseball, and people clearly love it. But something about it just rubs me the wrong way that we're selling out these gimmicks, And now for our favorite, the old man Josh shaking his fist at a clown, Jay Kane. And you're not wrong. I think baseball is the funnest form of baseball to watch. Sure. I don't know, EB. And look, I get it. If you're a 5-year-old and if you like TikTok, this is awesome.
At least they don't claim to be baseball. You don't have players on the Savannah Bananas saying, I could hit a home run off Tom Glavine, I could hit a home run off Shohei. They're not trying to be that. They brand themselves as sports entertainment. They're like, yeah, this is what we are, and this is what we're going to do.
It's just the fact that 65,000 people spend hundreds of dollars and you can't sell out the Trop. That's what blows my mind. Now, that's what gets me a little upset.
For those that don't know the geography of Tampa, the Trop's not in a great area. Not as far as like the
St. Pete. St. Pete seems awesome.
I don't mean as far as like area. I mean like accessibility. You have to go over the Howard Franklin, or you got to go up the Skyway if you're in Sarasota. If you're in Orlando, you got to go across I-4. But Ray J being in a spot, if you put the Race Stadium where the fairgrounds are, right near 301, right near the Dale Mabry, I think they would sell it a lot more.
We're gonna find out.
Next to MLK, yeah. But if you put them at MLK and 301, right outside the Dallas Bowl Honky Tonk, I think it'd be a lot more butts and seats, because the Savannah Banana showed people are interested in baseball. 65,000 people are interested in baseball.
Are people interested in baseball, or are they interested in whatever the whole, put the ball? Well, I gotta say, you put a ball on fire, you swing a bat that's on fire. I'll admit that's freaking awesome. All right, you got me there, but it's just the whole, I don't know, like I go to a Broadway show. You know what I mean? The whole choreography.
Go to Straz Center.
What's going on, Foch? All right, what's up, Cards? I do want to have a longer Savannah Bananas debate. It's also a great game to take your kids to. I can't disagree with that, ZK. But you know what my dad took me to when I was a kid? A baseball game. And I loved it. I loved it, ZK. Let's go, Jan. Come on, Jan. Congratulations on the slab or no slab takedown here. Listen, I apologize. I should not have done the Savannah Bananas thing to end the show. I think we could honestly do 20 whole minutes talking Savannah Bananas. I will have to save that for another day. I want to play a couple videos with that. All over the place, ladies and gentlemen. My dad, we walked the Phillies game up and down both ways. There was no air conditioning in his car. It was a 95 degree in the summer, and I loved it. All right? It's hilarious. All right, let me get this slab or no slab. I want to apologize. I felt like I was extra all over the place today. I feel like an hour and a half is a really long time to fill for a show. I load up the rundown with all these talking points, and then I get here, and I end up like, oh my God, there's so much to talk about.
Especially when you probably wanted to talk March Madness for 90 minutes.
I didn't realize how much I wanted to talk March Madness until we were actually talking it. Real quick, what did Chippy say? Always awesome getting home from school and dad deciding he wants to go to a game. Miss those days. Can says no thank you. Wait, Can, what are you saying no thank you to? Chippy, see, I was always like, Dad, why do you want to go to more games? I was always like, oh, like, and my dad took me to a good amount of games. He was, love my dad. I was like, come on, take me to more games. Now as someone who like works, I'm like, my dad's a saint for taking me to any game. No way, 49 got taken again? Running it back here. I'm gonna. Wow. 49 already got hit, by the way. That's insane. Dude, how does that happen? How the hell does that happen? The winner, no thank you. All right, here we go. Good luck. 125 or 50. 31 going to a very real. Jan, can you say something? Jan? Prove you're real. People are doubting you. Dude, that's actually pretty. Ooh. Prove you're real. Please. This is a good card. I want to see something in the chat. Oh, I hate that, man. Come on, Jan. Prove everyone wrong. I don't want to give a Corbin Carroll rookie pass. This is to a bot.
My favorite, we had on the overnight shows, 3 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
This is a good card. Come on, Rob. I don't think we're allowed to do that, Rob. On the old app, we used to do that. This isn't right. Chippy, Can, S. Cook, CK, good J-Deck. Jan, please, guys, I can't. Schmuck even. Mike Monday, Can, come on. Can, you would rather see Mike Monday win, wouldn't you? Let's be honest. Come on. Bury the hatchet. Can, I know you and Mike Monday went at it. You would rather see Mike Monday win than Yuan. Yuan, come on, talk, please. This is a good card. They do it all day on here. It must be present to win. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm gonna give it to them, I guess.
Schmuck, Doug. At least it's not talking
about. I have to play by the rules. Did he? No, Cook. Jan, I don't think Jan has. No, Can. I understand. Can, I will. After this is a watershed moment for me. We might tweak the rules. I'm gonna look into the Fanatics policies because this is a cool card, man. I don't want to give this one to a bot. Here, I'm going to show it now. See what friggin'... Jan, just say something, all right? Always about the people that have 50 accounts. In all reality, he wanted the future. You can tweak the rules for sure. I will look into that, Schmuck. Schmuck, I know. This is a cool card, man. Because I like Corbin, and I like the bad relics a lot more than the napkin patches. Corbin, that's rookie, by the way. Yeah, that's rookie Corbin, the 400. Yeah, I'm going to check and see if we can do that next time. Because, you guys are awesome. And, I mean, typically, even when it's a name I don't recognize, you at least pop in the chat and be like,
thanks.
Oh, cool, this also I didn't expect to win, you know what I mean? This one is like... That's what I'm saying, Trey. Oh, my gosh. All right. Didn't mean to end the show on a little bit of a rant. I just appreciate all you guys who hang out and contribute and buy. And, even if you don't buy, if you're real and you hang out, I hope that iPad enjoys the card. Probably on eBay if anyone wants it in a week, as Cook says. It's not the same. It's not the same that way, though. It's fun to win it the real way, but as Cook's probably right. It's probably some guy in this garage. He's just like, I got my 200 computers already, and then he's making a living. He's making a living.
The guy in Japan with Pokemon Go on his bike, and he's got like 16 different phones, and he's just swiping everything.
Oh my goodness! I appreciate you guys having a good laugh about it because I know I want to give back to the real ones out here, but yeah, exactly what I needed. A game use Corbin Carroll bat to 400, going to an iPad, going to a robot for free. There you go. Give the viewers the shortest givey. Time to enter for a quick one. Screw the 15 minutes. Chippy, believe it or not, the 15 minutes thing actually does help us out as a company. So Chippy, I appreciate it. But no, who knows, Chippy? You might have never come here if it weren't 15 minutes in the first place. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Nonetheless, glad we could all have a laugh about it. I will seriously, by tomorrow, I'm going to see if I can change that. But that's going to do it for me. Very much all over the place today. But there's just a lot to get into.
Yeah.
Next couple of days, heavy baseball, heavy March Madness. Not much more than that. I mean, simple as that. We have real baseball tomorrow. Next time I see you guys, there will be an MLB baseball game playing. But for now, we got an awesome break to get into. I'm going to send it over to our guys in the breaking studio. They appreciate you guys for real. Thank you for everything. Happy Monday. Let's start our week with a bang, because by Thursday, you're going to have the March Madness on the iPad, March Madness in the background, all right? 15 cases coming up, 6 a.m. Tomorrow, 6 a.m. Eastern time, all right?
Yep.
Holy crap, it's St. Patty's Day?
Yeah.
Look at the Irish. Happy St. Patty's Day to you guys out there, too. That's my bad. Have a happy Monday, everyone. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow at 9:30, but for now, 15 cases. Let's get nuts, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you right here.
Bye, y'all.
At Suncoast Sports. Woo!